Neo Financial set to offer the highest cash back ever on a Canadian credit card, and Moi Rewards launches at Metro and Food Basics in Ontario. All this and more on Rewards Canada's This Week in Rewards for October 19th through to the 25th, 2024. If you're new to Rewards Canada and are looking to make the most of your loyalty programs and credit card rewards, you have come to the right place. This is your weekly dose of loyalty rewards, travel, and credit card happenings in Canada. We'll kick things off with credit cards this week. And there's only one piece of news, but it's pretty big news, and that's Neo Financial. They've revamped the World Elite Mastercard they announced earlier this year and also announced a new World Mastercard. Yeah, that's right. So Neo Financial, what they did early summer, they announced their new World Elite Mastercard, had some people test it out, and got a lot of feedback online from people like ourselves and just, on forums and Reddit and all that type of stuff. And they've already revamped it before it launched. They've made it better. It's pretty crazy. They're really going after the big guys with these cards. So when we first covered the card, when the information was first launched, the best earn rates on this card were if you held $10,000 in a Neo everyday account. And at that time when they announced it, they also dropped the interest rate on that everyday account. So it was like, nothing too special, but they listened and they changed. And, if you followed Rewards Canada, probably a couple weeks ago, maybe at most 2 weeks ago, I posted that, the revamped version actually didn't look that good, that they actually devalued it. Well, that wasn't the case, because when they first announced the card at the beginning of summer, they were promoting it as, all the earn rates is based on holding 10,000, but the newer version was for anybody who gets a card without actually holding any money in their accounts. So I was kind of comparing apples to oranges, was unaware of that. So thanks to Neo for reaching out right away and saying, hey, the card's actually better. And it is, for the most part, has been made better. It's going to challenge the best cashback credit cards out there. So why don't we just take a look at it? I'm just rambling on here. So let's take a look. So the first thing, this was already what we knew from a couple weeks ago, is that there's a new lower annual fee on this World Elite Mastercard. So when it was first announced, they were going to charge $149. They've dropped that to $125 annual fees. So pretty decent. I mean, it's now kind of on the lower end of World Elites. A lot of the World Elites and Visa Infinites are up in that over 130 into 150 range. So 125 is on the lower side. I mean, there's still some at 120, so you kind of have to compare that. And there are some World Elites with no annual fees. So right in there, it's competitive. But the big changes come in the cashback earn rates. So what they've done now is, if you don't hold any money in a Neo everyday account, you're going to earn up to 5% cash back. So it's 1% on your everyday spending, so none of the accelerated categories. You're going to earn 3% on gas purchases, 4% on recurring bills, and 5% on groceries. Yeah, so that's really competitive. That's going against like your BMO Cashback World Elite. That's going against the TD Cashback, Visa Infinite, the CIBC Dividend, Scotia Momentum. It's attacking all those cards. And for the most part, it's equal to or better in terms of those earn rates. There are caps. I'll talk about the caps afterwards, but they actually increase those caps as well, the annual spending caps on those. So it makes the card very competitive. And then your earn rates actually increase when you do hold money in the Neo everyday account. And if you do get to that 10,000 or more level, you're going to earn still 1% on all else spending, but then gas jumps up to 4%, recurring bills jumps up to 5%, and groceries jumps up to 7%. That is where you get the highest cashback earn rate of any credit card in Canada. That has never been done before, 7%. The closest is the equivalent of 6% on the Scotia Gold American Express card when you use it for groceries at the Scene Plus grocery stores like Sobeys, Safeway, Freshco, those type of things. And of course, notwithstanding converting points, say from the Cobalt card into airlines and hotels, where you can, really extract a lot of value. And the Cobalt card even pushes 10% with their fixed points for travel. So there's a couple, caveats to that. But for the most part, if you're talking straight up cashback credit card, nobody has offered 7% yet, and Neo will do that if you hold 10,000. But that's the thing, you don't even have to hold money in the account, and you have a very competitive cashback card here. With those base, I call them base earn rates, but they're not base earn rates. With that earn rate of not holding any money in one of their accounts, this card is now probably, I still haven't finished the calculations by looking, but I would say it's in the top 3 cashback credit cards in Canada with an annual fee. So it's really competitive, and the big banks really need to watch out. And that's who Neo's going after. They're not going after Rogers. They're not going after American Express. They are the ones who are trying to disrupt the big five banks, the classic old school banking system. I was at an event with them just a little while ago where they were actually talking with Wealthsimple. So those two are competitors, technically speaking, but they say they're working, it's kind of like a synergy. They're working as competitors to complement each other to help change the banking systems in Canada. That's what they're saying. So, so this is really exciting news. So like I said, up to 7% cash back on groceries if you hold that 10,000 more, 5% if you don't. So, if you think about BMO Cashback World Elite Mastercard, it's 5% on groceries, but it's capped at $500 per month or $6,000 per year. Neo's is $12,000 per year. CIBC Dividend Visa Infinite Card, same thing. They only order, I believe it's 4%. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if I remember correctly, it's 4%. And they're capped at like 20,000 overall spend during the year over their accelerated categories. Again, I don't have the numbers in front of me trying to do this from memory, but I think you get the picture here. They're really going after them. So, and then the recurring bills, 4%. So this is new to the card from when they first announced it at the, early in summer. There wasn't an accelerated category for recurring bills. So it's 4% if you don't hold anything in your account. So that goes right after the Scotia Momentum Visa Infinite Card. But it goes to 5% if you hold that 10,000 or more, up to 4% on gas. So it's 3% for anybody, 4% if you hold 10,000. So another great earn rate. I should go back to saying, because I said the cap was 12,000 for groceries, it's 6,000 annually on recurring bills, and then 12,000 on gas as well. And then all other spending, doesn't matter how much you hold in your account, if you zero 10,000 is 1% cash back. So that's actually been a cut from when they first announced the card. When they first announced the card, it was going to be 2% on all other spending, up to $40,000 per year, and then it would drop to, I believe it was 1%. So now they've done 1%. So this is where the one cut happened to this card, which I'm sure some people will be a little disappointed because some people are probably eyeing this card for Costco warehouses to earn 2% cash back. So unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So just like any other credit card in the market, you have to look at your spending habits and see what works better for you. I think for a lot of people, the better grocery earn rates, recurring rates, gas earn rates will make a wash for that 1%. Being dropped from 2%. But for some people who do the heavy spending, say at Costco's or places where you don't have those accelerated earn rates, now this card's not looking as pretty. But I think in general, overall, for majority Canadians, based on your average spending across different categories, this card is still really competitive. Like I said, it's probably going to be in the top 3 cashback cards when we do our rankings that come out in January. So like I said, I talked about the spending caps. We're looking at, what is it? Here it's 12,000 on groceries and gas, so that's doubled because originally they were going to be 6,000 when they were previously announced. Recurring bills is 6,000, and then it's 1% for everything else, and there's no cap there. You may see even in our blog post that it said capped at 40,000, but that was a remnant from that 2% that they just did not take out from the information they provided to us. But I did reach out to them, and it is confirmed that it's 1% unlimited spending, and that's what you'll earn too when you do reach the caps in those other categories. You'll earn the 1%, and then of course you're gonna have all the other World Elite benefits like MasterCard Travel Pass by Dragon Pass, and you'll have those Flex Roam Global Data Roaming Packs. So you should get those additional benefits because it is a World Elite Mastercard, and like I said, and you can use it at Costco. Yeah, you're only earn 1%, but still, if you're spending more heavily in the other categories, it's still not bad to earn 1% at Costco with this card. And with these latest changes to the World Elite Mastercard, they've also announced a new World Mastercard. So this wasn't announced, back at the beginning of summer. So this is new. So this is going to be a no-fee version. So it's still going to get all those benefits like MasterCard Travel Pass and all that stuff. But it's going to have a little bit lower earn rates, but you're not paying an annual fee. So this card earns 2% on groceries, recurring bills, and gas. This is if you're not holding any money in an everyday account, and 0.5% on all other spending. Once you get up to 10,000 in your everyday account with Neo, you're earning 4% in all those accelerated categories, so gas, recurring, groceries, and then 1% on all other spending. So a very strong no-fee card if you hold that $10,000. If you're at the $0 level, it's decent. It's not going to be the best no-fee card out there. I mean, when you compare it to something like the Rogers World Elite, American Express Simply Cash, not the preferred, but just their no-fee Simply Cash card. But it's competitive. It's a really decent card. And you have to remember too, I'm not taking into account any of their Neo Rewards partners where you earn more cash back at select partners. But again, those are things like where you get cash back on the first purchase, the fifth purchase, those type of things. So they're hard to nail down as an actual cash back earn rate, but it's a bonus, right? So it's some extra cash back you earn that you also have to take into consideration with the Neo cards. So like I said, this is actually a really decent card. You know, when you compare it to say the RWRDS World Elite, when you're not a Rogers customer, you know, the RWRDS World Elite is just a straight 1.5% cash back. This one earns 2% in those several categories, so it earns a little bit more there, but its base earn rate of 0.5% is a third of what Rogers earns for those base cards. So something to take into consideration, and that's something, you know, in general with the new way Neo operates with their cards by offering more cash back by holding more in their everyday account. You have to run the numbers, you have to do the math and see, is it worth it for me to hold that 10,000 in those accounts? And especially when it comes to this World and World Elite cards, you really probably don't have to, because you can put that 10,000 into Neo's high interest savings account or another bank's high interest savings account, earn the higher interest rates there, because the base earn rates now, or I keep calling it base, sorry, they're not base earn rates, but the earn rates for not holding any money with them are more competitive now, especially on that World Elite, you know, 1% to 5%. Yeah, so run the numbers, see if it's worthwhile to hold 10,000 with Neo so that you can earn that 7%, say on the World Elite. Or is it better for you to hold it in a high interest savings account? Now, with interest rates being cut by the Bank of Canada, you know, it may not, you know, it may actually work out better with that 7%. But like I said, do numbers and figure that out. So I've probably gone on long enough now about these new Neo cards. They should be launching here in the next couple weeks. Keep an eye out on the RWRDS Canada website. We'll have all the information for you guys. As always, we thank you for your support. If you do apply for these cards through RWRDS Canada when they launch, we do earn commissions, and that's how you support this channel and support our website and continue giving you the utmost coverage of loyalty program news, credit card reward news, you name it. Anything and everything to do with loyalty, we're covering right here on RWRDS Canada. And that's it for credit card news. And before we continue on to loyalty, rewards, and travel news, if you like today's content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you don't do so, hit that notification bell so you're notified when we do post new videos, and please share our content with friends, family, coworkers, anybody who you think can benefit from all the information we provide in these videos, podcasts, and on our website. And as always, leave us a comment, whether it's just saying hello or if you have any questions to do with loyalty programs and credit cards in Canada or around the world. All right, let's get into the travel and loyalty news. So the big loyalty news this week was Moi Rewards finally launching in Ontario. So Moi Rewards is the loyalty program from Metro, Metro grocery stores, but it's been operating as Metro and Moi in Quebec for, probably at least a dozen years or so, and in New Brunswick as well. They rebranded it as Moi, or Moi Rewards, back in 2023 in Quebec. And then earlier this year, they announced that Metro stores, etc. in Ontario would be leaving the Air Miles program, and they would take it to their in-house program, Moi Rewards. So there was a little period there, a hiatus, where you couldn't earn any rewards at Metro stores in Ontario over this summer. But now officially as of October 24th, you can earn Moi Rewards points at Metro stores and Food Basics in Ontario. This is interesting. You'd think they would just integrate the program how they had it in Quebec and New Brunswick into the Ontario stores, but they didn't. They went different with it, which is a little bit of a head scratcher. I understand it from the business case point of view, but for consumers, this will make no sense. It may cause a little confusion. And what it is that in Ontario, when you're shopping at Metro store, you're going to earn 1 Moi Rewards points for every $3 spent. In Quebec and New Brunswick, it's 1 for 1. So you spend $1, you get 1 point. So you earn more in those other provinces. Yeah, so it is a little confusing. And the reason that I even say it's a little confusing, because when you go to the Moi Rewards site, it depends which province you land on, because they have an option to look at New Brunswick, Quebec, Ontario. I'm in Alberta, and when I went first to it, I went to Quebec and I saw 1 for 1, but then I did some more digging, switched it over to Ontario, and it was the 1 for 3. So this is something to be aware of. And I overall, I don't think a lot of people will notice this, but the super users, the people who do pay attention to the programs, they'll be like, why is there different earn rates? Or they may end up at the till. They may have been looking at the Quebec site, and they're in Ontario and they look at their receipt, if their points are on there, they'll say, how come I only earned, a third of the points? It's because you're earning 1 point for every $3 spent. So that's, unfortunate that they did this. Now, I think maybe the people in Quebec and New Brunswick are lucky. I spoke with the Moi Rewards team earlier this week, and they said they kept 1-to-1 in Quebec and New Brunswick because that's what people were used to with the old Metro and Moi program. So I have a feeling, had Metro and Moi never been there, say air miles had been issued in Quebec and New Brunswick at their Metro stores and that had they launched this program, across all 3 provinces at the same time as a new revamped program, it would have been 1 for 3 there as well. But because that's what they were used to for, having the customers earn that for, a good dozen years in Quebec and New Brunswick, they kept it 1 for 1. So maybe count yourselves lucky if you're in Quebec and New Brunswick. But yeah, like I said, I think this was more of a business decision because here's the thing. Their biggest competitors, Ontario, PC Optimum, Scene Plus, don't offer any base earn rates. So by doing this, you're getting a little bit more, by shopping at Metro stores and that, because you do get the base earn rate, plus you'll get any bonus points for overall spend, bonus points for products. So it's a little bit more advantageous there in terms of their competitors. So that's, I think, why they went with the lower rate, because they knew they could. It keeps them more competitive, I guess, than the Scene Pluses and PC Optimums. So we'll see in the long run how it turns out. Maybe if it's not as much of an uptake as they hope, maybe we'll see it bumped up to 1-to-1. I don't hold my hopes up of that happening. I foresee it staying 1 for 3 for a long time. Now, the other thing with the launch with Moi Rewards is the previously announced connection with RBC Avion Rewards, and now we've learned what that means. And so when you link your Moi Rewards account to your Avion Rewards account and have an RBC credit card that's not the Moi card, but it's like the Ion, Ion Plus, Avion, those type of cards, you can earn extra Moi Rewards points for your grocery shopping. So you're gonna get 1 point for every $2 spent, but there's minimum spending amounts. You have to hit $60 at Metro and Food Basics, or $40 at Jean Coutu to get those earn rates. If you're spending less, you're not going to earn any extra on those RBC cards. So that's something to be aware of. Whether that's worthwhile, it's worthwhile if you're an RBC customer, have those cards. Yeah, great, you're going to earn a little bit more points. But if you're, again, very well involved in loyalty programs and points, you're going to be pulling out your Cobalt card and earning more than that, or your Scotiabank Gold American Express card. You're going to be earning more than what this little bit of extra you earn on your Avion cards. Now, you'll be a little bit better off by using the Ion Plus Avion combo, because you'll use your Ion Plus card to earn 3 points per dollar instead of 1 point per dollar, but then you have the redemptions on the Avion card that gets you the better value. So lots of little tricks you can use here. But overall, that RBC partnership, nothing too exciting with it. I feel like I think I put in my blog post that it falls flat. But it's good to note, it almost seems like when you go to their websites that partnership's only for Ontario, but that's not the case. I wrote that because, when you go to the Moi site, this is where it comes to that confusion again. Ontario shows the RBC partnership. Quebec and New Brunswick does not show the RBC partnership. They show the Moi RBC card on their credit card pages. So there was some confusion there. I thought that this may have been Ontario only, but no, RBC reached out to me saying it's for everybody. Anybody in Canada who links their Moi Rewards to their RBC cards will earn those extra points when shopping at Metro. So if you're from BC and you're heading out to Ontario and doing some grocery shopping, make sure you link your RBC card to your Moi Rewards so you earn those extra points if you hit those minimum spending caps. God, there's a lot of ifs and buts and all this stuff. Like I said, they made it a little bit confusing. It's rewarding to a point. When I was talking with Moi Rewards, their big focus though is of course on their personalized offers and the personalization. Being out west, I don't really see those, so I'd love to get some feedback from you guys, how you find Moi Rewards personalizations for their groceries. How does it compare to, say, Scene Plus or PC Optimum? Do they do a better job? Because a lot of times with PC Optimum, Scene Plus, the offers are based on who's paying them. The CPG goods, it's like, is Nestle paying us, or Heinz or Kraft, or all these brands, who's paying us? Those are the offers we're going to put out, and then we'll put the personalized offers below. Let me know what Metros are like. I believe from when I've discussed with them, they don't do the CPG offers. It is really personalized offers based on your shopping habits. So I'd love to get some feedback from our viewers and readers and listeners in Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, how you find those offers, whether they really stand up to what Moi Rewards told me. And then, so I'll just round it out with, in terms of this Moi Rewards, with the Moi Rewards Visa, it's marketed as 2 points per dollar at these grocery stores, but that's technically 1 point per dollar for the $1 spent on the credit card, and then the other 1 point in Quebec and New Brunswick. So I don't know how they're going to tackle this in Ontario, if they're even going to promote the card. Like I said, it doesn't show up on the Ontario side or the Ontario page of Moi Rewards, but if it did, they would have to market it as 1.33 points per dollar spent, and that doesn't really make for good marketing, 1.33. So that's probably why you don't even find it on the Ontario section of the Moi Rewards site, and they're pushing the RBC partnership for the Avion Ion Plus cards instead. Let's continue on now. We'll go into bonus offers. So Coast Rewards, they're offering 2 times Coast Rewards points on stays of 2 or more nights, plus 50% off on that second night. So if you're staying 4 nights, you'll get 50% off 2 nights, and you'll earn the double points. This is available at all of their 40 plus locations in Canada and US. Simply book by November 14th, and it's good for stays until January 31st, 2025. If you're a base level member, this works out to 2 points per dollar. If you're platinum member, it works out to 6 points per dollar spent. That's including the bonus, and that's pre-tax dollars. And remember, with Coast Rewards, you only need 250 points to redeem for $10 off towards a future stay. So you can rack up probably enough points for some redemptions if you're using this double points over a 2-night stay. And the last thing we'll cover in this week's episode is an update to the 5 best McDonald's rewards redemptions. So we had one of our readers point out that there's a new best redemption out there, and that's the vanilla or caramel iced coffees. And yeah, this is the case. And I think the reason why we may have missed this in our first iteration of McDonald's rewards is because over summer, those are only $1. And thanks to David for pointing that out. But yeah, in any case, so now I guess over winter, your best redemption for McDonald's rewards are the vanilla or caramel iced coffees. Here at my local McDonald's, they're $3.19 for a large before taxes. That works out to a 15.95% return because you only have to redeem 2,000 points for that. So that's a great return on your spending at McDonald's. In second place is the iced coffee, so the non-flavored versions. This is also new to the chart. It's $2.69 here. A large before taxes works out to a 13.45% return because, again, it's 2,000 points. And so what these 2 options did was drop 1, 2, and 3 to 3, 4, and 5. So in third is a large fry still. 4th is an extra large tea, and 5th is the hash brown. Be sure to check out the feature. We talk about all these redemption options, and I think I'm gonna have to update this probably seasonally based on the different prices that McDonald's likes to do during different seasons. So right now, for the winter season, iced coffees are your best bet in terms of maximizing your value for McDonald's rewards. And then probably next summer, maybe the large fries will jump up back to first, and we'll see things like the vanilla cone drop back into 4th or 5th or whatever it was. So just a little update to McDonald's rewards for those of you who like to use that program. And that's all she wrote for this week, but stay tuned over the coming weeks. It's going to be a real fun ride in the world of credit cards and loyalty programs. We have new card launches. Well, I think you know which cards are launching based on this video, but maybe there'll be more. But the ones we discussed in this video will be launching the Neo cards. We're going to have some new welcome bonus offers on quite a few cards coming out over the next few weeks. And there's an entire loyalty program revamp coming. At least I think it is. Based on what I've heard in the inkling, I should find out in the next week or 2. But yeah, there's some big changes coming to a loyalty program. Everything is hush-hush about it right now, so we'll just have to wait and see. And then that'll bring us right into the super busy Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber Week, holiday shopping season, which is going to be filled with tons of offers. We're already preparing for that. I actually just posted on Frequent Flyer Bonuses a preview of Millennium Hotels. They're bringing back another 20,000 points offer, which has the potential to be a moneymaker if they expand it outside of the US. So there's going to be lots happening. So be sure to follow us on our socials, the blog, the website on a daily basis. We cover all this news, all these offers, everything you can think of. We try to cover on the website, and we try to give you the most information possible so that you can earn more miles, more points, more rewards. And of course, subscribe to the newsletter. It's your weekly roundup on Fridays of everything that's covered over the previous week. This is if you can't visit us on a daily basis. The newsletter will have everything from the previous week, except for those limited time offers that may have expired. And then our Saturday newsletter is the bonus bulletin with all your bonus points offers for flights, hotels, car rentals. It's your route to earning more miles and more points. And remember, if you're not earning the miles and points, you're not going to get those rewards. So by earning more miles and more points, you're going to get more rewards. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.